About to have a talk with Galileo Galilei, here in front of his house, where he is currently under house arrest. Galileo is a scientist and teacher who has revolutionized astronomy and physics, but he has gotten into some trouble with the church concerning his views about certain scientific issues. He's been excommunicated.
Don't remind me of those morons in the Roman Catholic Church.
Anyways, as I was saying, Galileo, you're a brilliant scientist who no one has really been able to argue with on facts. How do you do it?
Well, of course they can't really argue with me on my facts because they refuse to even so much as look at them or even just glance at them. They simply declare it as heresy because it didn't conform to church beliefs, and it also didn't match what the ancient Greeks said. But so that's why they declared it as heresy. But you really can't be so sure that the ancient Greeks will always be right. You have to go out there and do some experimenting and some observing for yourself.
Well, how about the church? You have to admit you have some problems with the church, right?
The church? The church? The church doesn't have a clue about science. Yes, I am a religious person, but I just don't agree with what the church thinks about science. It's all copied from the Greeks. And as I already said, the Greeks aren't always right.
Most people in today still think that the universe revolves around the Earth, that the universe is geocentric. And what do you have to say?
Can they prove anything? No. Where are they getting all this junk science? From the church, who got it from the Greeks. Look, I have proof. I've already proved the ancient Greeks wrong several times. Go to that telescope there. Do you see that big red spot up there in the sky?
Yes.
Do you see the little white dot on top of it? Well, that's the big, and the little dot is Jupiter's moon. Of course it's not going around the Earth. It's going around Jupiter. Well, want some more evidence? Take a look at my sketches of Venus. If the Earth was at the center of Earth, they look the same all year round. But no, they look different. Of course. Now, you've seen the evidence. Do you have not any sense? Of course the Earth is not the center of the universe.
Yes, I mean, why is this whole thing about the Earth being the center of the universe such a big deal? Does it really matter?
Well, of course, it matters to the church at least, but it doesn't really matter to people like you and me or the peasants. All I'm trying to do is prove that the church hasn't got a single piece of tangible evidence other than the writing of the ancient Greeks that the universe is Earth-centered. What I'm saying is that the Greeks, such as Aristotle, aren't always right. Remember when I did that experiment where I climbed up that huge tower in Pisa and I threw down 2 lead spheres? If Aristotle's law of falling objects were correct, one of the balls would have fallen much faster than the other one. But the people on the ground saw they fell to the ground at exactly the same time.
What the people of Europe really want to know about you is why you do all these things to get into trouble with the church. You've been through a lot, excommunicated, tried for heresy, and plotted against. Why do you do this?
Because it's in the name of justice. What are they doing to me? Imprisoning me? Excommunicating me? Torturing me? For telling the darn truth? Do you not find it ridiculous? The church hasn't got a clue about science. I've proved over and over again that the universe isn't Earth-centered. Sometimes you just have to admit that you're wrong, and the church just won't do that. Why? To be more honorable? Wouldn't it be more dignified to just apologize and admit to your mistakes?
If you're so dedicated to this idea, why did you renounce your belief?
Because the church abuses its power. They tortured me into saying the earth doesn't move, into saying that the earth is at the center of the universe. I'm an old man. When I went to the Inquisition, I was tired and aged. I didn't want to spend all the rest of my days arguing with the church, which I was already excommunicated from, so I just said it.
One last question. What are your plans for life now?
I've been arguing and researching and trying to change the way science is done all my life. That's the job I intend to finish. I guess I'll just live here in my house and write some other books on other subjects, such as physics. My eyesight is very poor, but I think I should be fine with just my ears. What I would really like to say is that the church's science isn't always right. People need to understand that, and the church needs to change. Hopefully, science will change one day, no longer controlled by the ideas of our ancestors or the church.
Thank you, Galileo, a man from Galileo, who has changed science forever. He discovered the laws of motion, the pendulum swing law, the law of falling objects, the moons of Jupiter, and the structure of our universe. Next, we will sit down for a talk with Pope Urban VIII, the man who turned against Galileo.